the Great Northwoods to the Rockbound Coast and streaming live in HD worldwide at foxbangor.com. More people choose Good Morning Maine.
Hello, everyone. Today on Good Morning Maine, a woman accused of killing her infant child pleads guilty to manslaughter.
Plus, lawmakers are considering a bill that would ban the sale of flavored tobacco throughout the state.
And it's an effort to help Maine teachers keep up with the cost of living.
Good morning and welcome to Good Morning Maine. I'm Emma Smith.
And I'm Craig Colson. Thank you for joining us. We'll have those stories and a lot more coming up this morning. But first, we're going to start with a check of the forecast. Not a bad day out there ahead of us today. It looks like we may even see a little sunshine, warm temperatures. Heading into a nice Easter weekend. It looks like the weather will be nice for that as well.
Quite the sharp contrast next week and this weekend from all of this week.
Yeah, I'm hearing next week we'll get above average temperatures throughout the week too. So a little taste of summer coming.
It is almost going to feel like a new year.
I'm excited about it. Bring it on.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Here's Devin Biggs with the forecast.
Alrighty, Craig and Emma, thank you very much. Your full weather forecast sponsored by the More True team of Better Homes and Gardens Real Estate. They work throughout the state of Maine, serving both buyers and sellers with a focus on the greater Bangor area. Here we go. Wind advisories posted at least through later this afternoon at about 2 p.m. or so. Wind gusts up to around 40 miles per hour or so will be expected from time to time, so we'll need to be careful with this as it does develop. Further down to the south, this right here is a gale warning posted through about 2 a.m. as we head towards your Saturday. The small crowd advisory here, at least through 2 a.m. as well. You can notice a little different shades of color right there. So we have gale warnings right about in this area, and further off towards the south and west from that is where that small crowd advisory is located. Wave heights aren't too ridiculous. Yeah, we might see these increasing later today with some of those gusty winds. Right now, right around 2 to 3 feet according to some of the buoys out there. So rather calm for now, but expect those to increase as we get some gusty winds going throughout the region today. But for now, we're just watching some clouds moving through. Looks like we did have some rain moving through last night and parts of very early this morning, so now all of that has since gotten out of here. So we're looking pretty good to start things off. Just a mixture of some clouds and sunshine will be the general idea. Here's our nice little weak wave of energy located right about in here. That will allow again some snow flurries in the northern parts of the state today, but I think for us, though, we'll be looking pretty good as we'll be well under a partly cloudy sky. A mixture of clouds and sunshine and gusty winds will be the overall idea. Futurecast showing those flurries further off towards the north, otherwise mixture of clouds and sunshine for everyone else further down toward the south. By later on tonight, we will remain mostly clear, so looking pretty decent out there later on tonight. By tomorrow, though, it tries to get a few clouds in here. I'm not quite sold on that solution. If we notice any clouds, it may not be as aggressive. I do think we'll still hold on to a good amount of sunshine for most of your Saturday. By Saturday night and parts of Sunday, we'll be looking pretty good as the clouds break up yet again, revealing a good amount of sunshine. We're in a nice drying pattern, though, with a mixture of clouds and sunshine, the general idea. On top of that, some gusty winds we'll have to deal with as well, reaching up to around 30 to 35 miles per hour, even close to 40 miles per hour in a few spots. And even though the winds will remain gusty through Saturday, it won't be as bad as what we're seeing today. Gusts tomorrow can reach up to around 20 to 25 miles per hour at best. Let's talk temperatures real quick. Our average high is 49 degrees. We'll be in the 40s today and tomorrow, lower 50s Sunday, but a sharp warm-up starting Monday all the way through Thursday, maybe 70s as we head towards Thursday. We'll have to wait and see how that plays out as we get closer. Otherwise, so upper 40s today, partly cloudy and windy. West wind getting up to about 40 miles per hour. By tonight, 21 degrees, mostly clear and still windy out there. Northwest wind getting up to about 30 miles per hour. For tomorrow, lower 40s, mostly sunny and breezy. Northwest wind getting up to about 25 miles per hour. Alrighty, here's a look at your extended forecast sponsored by the More True team of Better Homes and Gardens Real Estate. We'll be mostly sunny on Easter Sunday with highs in the lower 50s, lower 60s on Monday with a mostly sunny sky, mostly cloudy on Tuesday, highs in the mid-60s.
All right, thank you, Devin. In today's news, a Massachusetts woman pleaded guilty to manslaughter in the death of her infant daughter in Aroostook County. Baby Jane Doe was found in a gravel pit 37 years ago. 58-year-old Leanne Daigle of Lowell, Massachusetts, was arrested last year after police cracked the case, thanks to years of police work and advancements in DNA technology. Her name was Leanne Garrett at the time. She was 21 years old and claims she didn't know the child's father. Police were alerted to the grisly discovery on December 7, 1985, after a dog dragged the newborn baby to a home in Frenchville. Detectives tracked the dog's path to a gravel pit where the baby had been born and abandoned in sub-zero temperatures. The death remained a mystery for decades until Daigle's indictment last year on a charge of murder. She'll be sentenced on the manslaughter charge at a later date.
Maine's highest court heard arguments from a man appealing his murder conviction. Thomas Bonfanti was sentenced to life in prison after he shot 3 people to death and wounded another in Downeast, Maine in 2020. He now claims his constitutional rights were violated. Devin Dagnall has the story.
Monday morning, the Maine Supreme Judicial Court justices heard arguments for the case of Thomas Bonfanti. Last year, Bonfanti was found guilty of murder, aggravated murder, and elevated aggravated assault and sentenced to 4 consecutive life sentences. Recently, Bonfanti's case was granted an appeal. He is now being represented by attorney David Paris.
We had limited questions on appeal. I think we dealt with them pretty well. I think the state has its own good argument. And again, I would impress that the justices asked some very good, compelling questions, and we'll see where they come with a written decision.
Paris argues this case isn't just about his client. He says it's about constitutional rights.
Well, the arguments before the law court today really resolved around Fifth Amendment rights, the right to remain silent and the right to not invoke self-incrimination. There was a public safety exception to that, but we argued that the invocation of the Fifth Amendment right went far beyond what came in as the invocation of the public safety exception.
Paris states that Bonfanti should be retried because when he was arrested, he invoked the Fifth Amendment, but officers continued to question him and information from that questioning was used in court. The Attorney General's office argues there is no reason for a retrial due to the fact that the information was gathered from a line of questioning intended to locate and help Bonfanti's victims. They also argue there was so much evidence to incriminate Bonfanti that any information gathered after his invocation of the Fifth Amendment could be considered as supplemental. The Maine Supreme Court should have a written decision within the next 90 days. In Augusta, Devin Dagnall, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
In other news, a man from western Maine is facing a slew of charges after he allegedly led police on a chase. Police say they spotted 38-year-old Joshua Kinzel speeding on Thursday morning on an ice-covered road. They claim he was traveling 30 miles over the posted speed limit in Rumford and refused to stop. Police say Kinzel sped up and tried to lose the officer and eventually pulled into a driveway to try to hide. Police found him quickly and said he had 2 guns in the vehicle, that he wasn't supposed to be driving because he also had a suspended license. Kinzel is now facing numerous charges, including driving to endanger, eluding police, and being a prohibited person in possession of firearms.
A proposed bill would raise the minimum wage for teachers over the next 5 years. Sponsored by Senator Teresa Peirce of Cumberland, LD 1064 calls to raise the minimum salary for teachers throughout the state to $42,500 starting in 2024. Additionally, salaries for teachers would be increased by $2,500 every year until 2028. After 2028, the wage increases would then be based off the current salary multiplied by a cost of living adjustment.
I think it's important to step back a little bit and understand that over time we have been underpaying teachers just at a dramatically low level, and it's time to really recognize that as a society. So they make far less than anyone else with the same amount of education and the same amount of work, and we want to make sure that we recognize that.
Peirce says if the bill reaches the Senate floor, she expects it will gain a lot of support.
Meanwhile, a bill that would increase the notice period for certain rent increases is moving through the legislature. The bill would require a landlord to provide 75 days notice when increasing a tenant's rent by 10% or more over the previous year's rent. Currently, law only requires 45 days notice for increases of any amount. The bill's sponsor, Representative Chris Kessler of South Portland, said, quote, rising rents across Maine are significantly contributing to our housing crisis. The anxiety that comes with a rent increase only enhances the very real concerns that many Mainers will no longer be able to afford to live close to their workplace and family. This legislation will provide extra time for tenants to determine the next best steps in finding a place to rent.
Dozens of volunteers from across the state gathered at the State House to support Senator Jill Duson's bill ending the sale of flavored tobacco products. Our Matthew Durantzik has the story.
Today I met a 5th grader who was talking about the kids vaping in his bathroom, and at 5th grade, kids should never be exposed to chemicals and tobacco and nicotine and then have an addiction for the rest of their lives.
Supporters of ending the sale of flavored tobacco products took action on Thursday, encouraging legislators to do the right thing and pass the bill.
The sale of tobacco, which is basically poison for people, and especially young people, shouldn't be allowed. And if we can stop this flavored tobacco, which really hooks little kids, we want to be able to do that.
Should this bill become law, it would end the sale of flavored tobacco products statewide. More than 50 teachers, students, and health officials gathered on the third floor of the State House explaining the significance of banning these harmful products.
It's been exciting to see people here. I think that it reinforces that this bill is about a grassroots effort to do something about the availability of these products to our kids.
Seeing Thursday's turnout, Senator Duson says she believes this rally will likely strengthen the case in passing her bill.
I think it'll certainly increase the chances of getting this bill all the way over the hump. This time we expect to get it over the hump, and regular folks are an important piece of making that happen and making this effort happen in our state.
Duson says the bill will be discussed at the end of the month. However, there is not a specific date at this moment. In Augusta, Matthew Juronsik reporting for ABC7 and Fox 22 News.
It's a topic getting a lot of attention in the last year or so, probably rightfully so, too. I know I talked to my daughter, and she says the kids are vaping at the high school and doing that kind of thing. So it's not very good for their health.
Yep, they were when I was there, too.
Yeah.
It's been going on for quite some time, and it is disturbing hearing that fifth graders walked into the bathroom seeing other kids doing it.
It's crazy to think when I was in high school, we had a smoking area at school where you could go outside and smoke and whatever.
But, so maybe this is the natural progression of things.
We've come a long way.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, well, the time now is 6:11. Coming up next on Good Morning Maine, the inspirational story of a Portland police officer who says she's living a much happier life as a transgender woman.
But first, let's take another look at that forecast. A partly cloudy day ahead. Today, it will be windy with a high up near 47 degrees. Mostly clear and cold overnight, followed by a nice, mostly sunny day tomorrow. Looks like a real nice Easter weekend. The highs tomorrow around 42.
Looking to haul a new piece of equipment? Homeowners or commercial, Coops Truck and Equipment has the right trailer for you. Coops is the largest dealer of truck flatbeds and hauler bodies in this state and can replace any old rusty bed or outfit any new truck. Our full-service facility can modify all truck and trailers with steel and aluminum fabricators on duty. We are your go-to place for CM truck bodies, H&H trailers, and load trail trailers. For trailers, truck bodies, truck outfitting, and more, it's Coops.
What can your John Deere compact tractor do? Attachments for any job. Financing that's as easy as...
like getting a library card.
Affordable.
You're going to get this bigger tractor, and it's going to be less money.
Dependable.
Through the rain, through the snow, I'll work through it all.
Comfortable.
And I haven't any idea how we survive without it.
Experience United and build a tractor package customized for you.
Hello, Eastern Maine. Watch You Bet Your Life weekdays at 10 a.m. here on ABC7.
It's kind of like Homeward Bound meets a Hallmark movie.
A former foster dog from Bangor has turned into a social media sensation.
One time we were like, oh, what would Tatum's voice sound like? He came out with the Tatum voice, and it has stuck ever since.
We'll tell you all about Tatum Talks, Tuesday on ABC 7 News at 6.
Welcome back to Good Morning Maine. Well, a veteran officer in the Portland Police Department has come out as her true self. Julie Fitzgerald says she lived a lie for many years and is now proud to say she's transgender. Dan Lampriello explains the reaction she's received and how she hopes it will help others.
For more than 20 years, Officer Julie Fitzgerald has patrolled the streets of Portland. It's a job she believes was her calling.
I believe that's what path I was supposed to go.
Fitzgerald joined law enforcement after retiring from the U.S. Air Force as an aircraft mechanic in the early 2000s, eager to make connections and continue public service.
This is what I wanted to do when I got out because I enjoy helping people and, you know, getting that satisfaction.
But getting that satisfaction hasn't always been easy. As you can see, she looks much different today than these photos from her past, something she spent much of her life trying to hide.
I hid everything. I hid it through my 24 years in the Air Force, and I obviously hid it for 20 years here.
Last October, Fitzgerald made what she calls the toughest decision of her life.
I had to do it.
Coming out as her true self, a woman.
So I got to do this. I have to live my life. You know, I'm 62 years old, and I'm living two lives. Why do I have to live that?
But in a job like law enforcement, she wasn't sure how her fellow officers would react.
I've never been scared in this job, but that was scary. Emotional and nervous. I had to tell whatever we have, 140-something people at different times, and the response I got was fabulous. Like, people, I didn't even have to stop talking, and people were just like, you know, most of them thought I was going to tell them I had cancer, but you know, I was just like, you know, they were just, you're our brother, we love you, you know, who cares?
It was a level of acceptance the department's chief says he wasn't at all surprised by.
Julie is part of the fabric of this department, and so to see the acceptance from our officers was really incredible, and continues to be incredible. You know, our goal is to support Julie as we just move forward.
For Fitzgerald, that's all she was hoping for, respect for who she is.
This doesn't change me. I'm the same person.
A message she hopes will resonate with others in similar positions, especially at-risk youth who she often interacts with on patrol, that even in a job like hers, you can be yourself and be accepted.
I am who I want to be, you know, and I'm proud of that. I'm proud of me, and I'm proud of being transgender.
We appreciate she shared her story. Well, meanwhile, Maine's Committee on Transportation held a public hearing Thursday on a bill to eliminate certain motor vehicle inspections. The proposed bill, sponsored by Representative Chad Perkins of Dover-Foxcroft, would put an end to required yearly inspections for passenger vehicles registered here in the state of Maine. However, the bill would still require inspections for vehicles prior to being purchased, as well as commercial vehicles and fire trucks. Representative Perkins argues it's not necessary to have a vehicle inspected each year. During the hearing, Maine Policy Institute Director of Communications Jacob Posick testified in support of that bill.
Most accidents are caused by speeding, distracted driving, or drug or alcohol use. Yet the program persists in Maine and saps Mainers of millions every year for no clear or quantifiable health and safety benefit.
Well, the bill will be worked on in the Transportation Committee's next workshop session.
Honda is recalling vehicles due to the risk of rust. The recall includes 563,000 CRV models between 2007 and 2011 in states where roads are regularly salted in the winter months. The company says road salt could cause the frame to corrode and possibly detach the rear trailing arm. Dealers will install a support brace or repair the rear frame for free if necessary. Honda says it has received 61 complaints about the issue, but no reports of deaths or injuries.
Awful lot of those CRVs here in Maine, too.
Definitely. Those years especially, I'd say. All right, the time now is 6:18. After the break, it was a historic day for Tennessee politics in which 2 Democratic lawmakers were expelled.
We'll have details on that and more as Good Morning Maine continues.
Built upon a solid foundation of cast iron and steel, the Kubota LO1 series is rated #1 in durability and owner experience. Powerful Kubota diesel engine, ease of operation, and your choice of a dependable Kubota gear or HST transmission. The durable Kubota LO1 series tractor. Talk to your local Kubota dealer today to schedule a demo.
Available at Doors Equipment, 1468 Outer Hammond Street, Bangor.
Harris Lumber is locally owned and has been serving the Pequot region for more than 50 years. See them for all your projects, big or small. Customer service is their #1 priority. And with a full line of lumber and hardware items, they can also deliver to your job site. Harris Lumber, Milo.
Let Hellman's Bakery put a smile on your face with their tasty offerings of breads, baked beans, lasagna, tuche and turkey pies, fruit and cream pies, wedding and specialty cakes, pastries, and more. Hillman's, your hometown bakery, Fairfield.
Did you know that cervical cancer can be prevented with regular screening?
A routine Pap test found abnormal cells.
but minor surgery removed them before they became cancerous.
Getting routine Pap tests is one of the best ways women can protect themselves against cervical cancer.
Without the Pap test, I might never have been able to have my 2 kids.
If you're age 21 to 65, ask your provider about Pap tests or learn more at screenmaine.org.
It was a historic day in Tennessee politics. Republicans expelled 2 Democratic lawmakers, but not all of their efforts were successful. Fox's Jonathan Hunt reports the latest.
We need action.
What began as a rally for gun control has now cut short the careers of 2 state lawmakers in Tennessee. The drama unfolded a week ago when a trio of Democrats joined a gun control protest on the floor of the state house. They used a bullhorn to join with protesters following the Nashville school shooting in which 6 people, including 3 9-year-old children, were killed. The lawmakers' actions broke House rules of decorum, and Republicans used their supermajority to try to oust all of them.
He and 2 other representatives effectively conducted a mutiny on March the 30th of 2023 in this very chamber.
Justin Jones is one of the so-called Tennessee 3. He was the first to be expelled.
I will stand with the people out in this rotunda every week if I have to. They can't expel our movement.
Representative Justin Pearson was also expelled.
A lot of them I know are upset about the anti-democratic behavior of this white supremacist-led state legislature.
But Gloria Johnson survived by just 1 vote. Protesters swarmed the Capitol when the votes took place. Expulsion is incredibly rare. It's only happened twice since the 1800s.
The fact that this vote is happening is shocking, undemocratic, and without precedent.
The expelled lawmakers are eligible to run again in a special election, which has to be held to fill the now open seats. In Los Angeles, Jonathan Hunt, Fox News.
Meanwhile, another setback for former President Donald Trump's legal team, this time in the special counsel's probe investigating events leading up to January 6th. It comes in the wake of Mr. Trump appearing in court this week to respond to criminal charges in a separate case. Fox's Griff Jenkins has the latest on why we could soon see the former vice president testify and what could tee up a historic moment in the Justice Department's probe.
Former Vice President Mike Pence says he will not appeal a judge's order compelling him to testify in the Justice Department's January 6th probe, despite his legal team challenging the subpoena. A spokesman for the former VP said in a statement, quote, Vice President Mike Pence swore an oath to support and defend the Constitution, and his claim that the Biden special counsel's unprecedented subpoena was unconstitutional under the speech or debate clause was an important one made to preserve the separation of powers outlined by our founders.
There's nothing illegal about a client and a former president talking with lawyers and then exploring ideas. That's not illegal. What's illegal is if they do something, with the intention to violate the law.
The announcement comes after a federal judge last week rejected executive privilege claims, ruling the former vice president is required to appear before a grand jury, a decision largely seen as another setback for former President Trump's legal team working to limit testimony to grand juries investigating him. This week, the former commander-in-chief pleaded not guilty to 34 counts during his arraignment in Lower Manhattan.
In general, I think Republicans have to play harder, and they've got to be as intense as the Democrats are, because this has just got to come to an end, and the truth has to be revealed.
Next week, we could see a run-in between Mr. Trump and Mr. Pence. Both are headed to Indianapolis to headline the National Rifle Association's annual meeting. In Washington, Griff Jenkins, Fox News.
All right, the time now is 6:24.
Let's get a full look at that weather forecast with Devin.
Alrighty, Craig and Emma, thank you very much. Your full weather forecast sponsored by the More True team of Better Homes and Gardens Real Estate. They work throughout the state of Maine, serving both buyers and sellers with a focus on the greater Bangor area. Here we go. Wind advisories posted at least through later this afternoon at about 2 p.m. or so. Wind gusts up to around 40 miles per hour or so will be expected from time to time, so we'll need to be careful with this as it does develop. Further down to the south, this right here is a gale warning posted through about 2 a.m. as we head towards your Saturday. The small craft advisory here, at least through 2 a.m. as well. You can notice a little different shades of color right there. So we have gale warnings right about in this area, and further off towards the south and west from that is where that small craft advisory is located. Wave heights aren't too ridiculous. Yeah, we might see these increasing later today with some of those gusty winds. Right now, right around 2 to 3 feet according to some of the buoys out there. So rather calm for now, but expect those to increase as we get some gusty winds going throughout the region today. But for now, we're just watching some clouds moving through. Looks like we did have some rain moving through last night and parts of very early this morning, so now all of that has since gotten out of here. So we're looking pretty good to start things off. Just a mixture of some clouds and sunshine will be the general idea. Here's our nice little weak wave of energy located right about in here. That will allow again some snow flurries in the northern parts of the state today, but I think for us, though, we'll be looking pretty good. This will be well under a partly cloudy sky, and a mixture of clouds and sunshine and gusty winds will be the overall idea. Futurecast showing those flurries further off towards the north, otherwise a mixture of clouds and sunshine for everyone else further down toward the south. By later on tonight, we will remain mostly clear, so looking pretty decent out there later on tonight. By tomorrow, though, it tries to get a few clouds in here. I'm not quite sold on that solution. If we notice any clouds, it may not be as aggressive. I do think we'll still hold on to a good amount of sunshine for most of your Saturday. By Saturday night and parts of Sunday, we'll be looking pretty good as the clouds break up yet again, revealing a good amount of sunshine. We're in a nice drying pattern, though, with a mixture of clouds and sunshine, the general idea. On top of that, some gusty winds we'll have to deal with as well, reaching up to around 30 to 35 miles per hour, even close to 40 miles per hour in a few spots. And even though the winds will remain gusty through Saturday, it won't be as bad as what we're seeing today. Gusts tomorrow can reach up to around 20 to 25 miles per hour at best. Let's talk temperatures real quick. Our average high is 49 degrees. We'll be in the 40s today and tomorrow, lower 50s Sunday, but a sharp warm-up starting Monday all the way through Thursday, maybe 70s as we head towards Thursday. We'll have to wait and see how that plays out as we get closer. Otherwise, so upper 40s today, partly cloudy and windy. West wind getting up to about 40 miles per hour. By tonight, 21 degrees, mostly clear and still windy out there. Northwest wind getting up to about 30 miles per hour. For tomorrow, lower 40s, mostly sunny and breezy. Northwest wind getting up to about 25 miles per hour. Alrighty, here's a look at your extended forecast sponsored by the More True team of Better Homes and Gardens Real Estate. We'll be mostly sunny on Easter Sunday with highs in the lower 50s, lower 60s on Monday with a mostly sunny sky, mostly cloudy on Tuesday, highs in the mid-60s.
Tonight, a man of God, a married woman, a dead husband, and a police wiretap.
There is a shooting.
It was like a car accident you couldn't look away from.
Inside a murder mystery as it unravels. 2020, tonight on ABC.
Every year, tens of thousands of older Mainers are abused or taken advantage of, usually by a trusted family member. Don't sign away your home. Even if promised you can still live there, don't hand over your checkbook or credit card. Don't sign legal papers like a loan document or power of attorney without talking to a lawyer first. Protect yourself, your assets, your independence. Free, confidential legal advice is just a phone call away. Call Legal Services for the Elderly.
It was like 8 o'clock, and Rick's not home yet. I called his phone, and there was no answer. My front doorbell rings. I knew the minute I heard the doorbell what was on the other side. They knew that Rick was driving 8 miles an hour, and the brakes were engaged, and the person that rear-ended him just wasn't paying attention. Unless you're looking straight ahead, everything else you do is distracted driving. If this could help one family, time well spent. Nobody should have that knock on the door.
Mossy Ledge Spirits is a true hidden gem in Etna. Located just 3 miles off I-95, exit 167, we are home to tastings, tours, cocktails, to-go drinks, bottles, live music, minis, and priceless memories. You're sure to fall in love with our handcrafted, unique, and deliciously clean-tasting spirits and feel right at home in our family-friendly environment. Mossy's Mobile Spirits is offering mobile bar service for weddings and large events. So enjoy some pizza and raise the glass here at Mossy Ledge Spirits.
If only there was a place in the morning to start my day. With a smile, somewhere to help me get in the know. Oh, wait, there is.
Good morning, America.
GMA 7A. Now that's how you start your day.
There's one number you need to know. It's called Joe.
Tensions increasing by the day between the United States and China. A U.S. congressional delegation is currently in Taiwan. This after a visit for Taiwan's president on Wednesday to the U.S. Fox News congressional correspondent Aisha Hasni is in Taipei with the details.
That is an act of aggression.
House Foreign Affairs Chairman Michael McCaul standing next to Taiwan's vice president as he calls out China for announcing it will stop and inspect ships in parts of the Taiwan Strait for 3 days. The same 3 days during which McCaul is leading a bipartisan delegation through Taiwan. Hours before their plane even touched down in Taipei, Taiwan's defense ministry discovered 3 People's Liberation Army Navy ships encircling the island. McCaul telling Fox China better think twice before escalating tensions further.
We know that they have certain plans. Whether they carry those out, I don't know. But I think that would be a very unfortunate mistake on the part of the Chinese Communist Party.
What are those plans? Can you elaborate?
I can't disclose that.
As China ramps up pressure on Taiwan, it's also flexing its economic muscle to push America to the side. The White House responding to Beijing's anti-U.S. deals on oil with Russia and Saudi Arabia, and China working with Brazil to move off the U.S. dollar.
We know we're in a strategic competition with China. And we have made it clear to Chinese officials, we are unabashed and unafraid to make it clear to the Chinese that we're going to do what we have to do to protect our national security interests. And again, this is no time to be in partnership with Vladimir Putin.
As life goes on in Taipei, there is a looming fear war could be coming.
If something happened, we would have to fight, right?
Yeah, I'll go.
You ready for that?
Yes.
What's still unclear, though, whether they'll get any help from U.S. troops. And Chairman McCaul tells Fox that decision will be made by the American people. What this delegation is willing to talk about is weapons sales, and they will do that with President Tsai when she returns to Taiwan.
In other news, the UN says more than 8.1 million Ukrainians have become refugees since Russia invaded Ukraine. More than 5 million people have applied for temporary resident status in nearby Western European countries. Russia began its war in Ukraine in February of last year. As of February 2023, at least 8,000 Ukraine civilians have been killed since the war began, and only 13,000, actually over 13,000, have been injured.
Calling all Russian nationals, Uncle Sam wants you. The FBI is said to be actively recruiting Russians as tensions with the nation escalate, particularly over the invasion of Ukraine. Fox News correspondent David Spunt has the story.
Вы хотите изменить свое будущее?
The FBI openly recruiting Russians to give up important information. In a new video shared with millions around the globe on Twitter, Facebook, and Google, Bureau officials speak directly to Russian citizens, expatriates, even spies looking to break free.
Do you want to change your future? The FBI values you. The FBI can help you, but only you have the power to take the first step.
The ad campaign comes as Russia continues to wage war in Ukraine, more than a year after the initial invasion. U.S. officials say Vladimir Putin is as isolated as he's been since coming to power more than 20 years ago.
It's a very tight, clear message to any Russian who might be interested in volunteering to the United States government. It's meant for Russian intelligence officers. And the message is repeated numerous times. Do you want to change your future in Russian?
Sources familiar with the ad tell Fox News that the FBI asking Russians for help isn't new. The agency ran this still image ad last year with a photograph of Putin. But this year, the Bureau decided a video was more effective. The ad encourages Russian people to also come speak in person to the FBI Washington field office and tell a security official that you have confidential information related to Russian intelligence or defense matters. The FBI Intelligence Division will contact you. But there are concerns about double agents. Officials within the FBI tell Fox News all information will be thoroughly screened. They just want to get as many tips as possible.
Still to come here on the second half of our show, can you imagine going to a store and finding that most of its employees are automated machines? Well, that's exactly what Walmart is planning for many of its locations.
Details on that and more as Good Morning Maine continues.
Oh, that feels so good. What a sweetheart. I'm so lucky.
These socks are so soft. And her feet don't smell? These would be perfect for hunting season.
Moisture wicking, odor resistant, hypoallergenic, softer than cashmere, and warmer than wool. Get your alpaca socks and more at the Blue Alpaca. Feel the difference.
Hey babe, can I borrow these socks?
You've probably seen those ads on TV with the out-of-state 800 number that look like information from Medicare. Some even suggest that your zip code will get you more benefits or even money back. You guessed it, those ads are misleading. So don't call that out-of-state 800 number when your help is right here at home. Do what I did and call the Senior Planning Center. They have trusted professionals all over Maine.
Call the Senior Planning Center at 223-6565. That's 223-6565.
With AAA Insurance, by bundling our home and auto policies, we saved over $450.
And we were shocked at the savings.
When we switched to AAA auto insurance and bundled our policies, we were able to save over $400 every year.
Switch to AAA Insurance today, and you could save an average of $483 on auto insurance. Compare that to State Farm, Geico, even Allstate. Call now for your free AAA full picture quote to find out how much you could save.
Well, my passion is hang gliding. I've been doing it for over 30 years, and it's like flying. I mean, it's like everything you always dreamed about. AAA Insurance helps us save more.
And do more.
The savings from AAA Insurance has allowed me to pursue my passion of making jewelry. It's great to have a little bit of extra cash to do something that you love.
To find out how much you could save by switching to AAA Insurance, call 866-460-1310 for your free AAA full picture quote today. You'll be glad you did.
You're watching ABC 7 Bangor.
Welcome back, everyone. Today is Friday, April 7th, 2023. It's also National Beer Day.
Ooh, very fitting on a Friday.
Let's celebrate beer.
Yeah, it's good. It's on a Friday.
Yeah.
Yes, if it were on a Monday, it would be kind of a bummer. Beer is the world's most widely consumed alcoholic drink, and it comes in hundreds of types, flavors, and proofs. Even now, there are good beers that are non-alcoholic.
Sure.
They're really expanding those options too, which is cool. People have been making beer for over 5,000 years, including Egyptians who used it in a number of religious ceremonies. In fact, the oldest recorded recipe we know of is one for beer. More than 35 billion gallons of beer are produced worldwide each year.
I think a bunch of it's drank right here in Maine, too,
right.
or something. I don't know.
I wonder what the most widely purchased beer in Maine is.
It'd be interesting to see. You know, I enjoy a good beer. I don't drink very often these days, but I enjoy a good beer or two every now and then.
Do you have a favorite?
I like, Smiling Irish Bastard. Right. I'll say that was a 6:30
Right,
morning.
I forgot. Yeah.
Gagan's beer. The Gagan's makes beer here in Bangor, and they really have become like my favorite. They have a lot of great flavors, and I like supporting the locals. But there's so many good breweries around here. I've enjoyed some good beers over the years.
Absolutely.
And if you pair it with some good food, then, awesome.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I love going to Mast Landing, yes, but they're in Freeport. Marsh Island, because I'll go to class and I'll finish up at the library, and they have a nice porch where if it's a sunny day, it's really calling to me, so I like going there. But I could go on and on. We are so lucky to have so many good.
Even here, we have Masons. I mean, there's so many around here that make good beer.
Maine and Vermont, I think, go back and forth between being most beer brewed per capita, which I think is cool. We've got nothing else to do up here in the cold Northeast.
I was reading earlier, the only thing sold more than beer is tea and water.
Really?
So people buy more bottles of water and things like that.
Yeah,
the tea thing kind of surprised me. But
that did surprise me as well. Worldwide, though, probably.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well, anyway, on this day in history, back in 1827, Englishman John Walker invented modern-day wooden matches that create a flame through friction. You don't think about that. Matches haven't always been around.
And it's crazy that it takes trees to do that. I was reading about logging in Maine, and in post-war, 1940s, a lot of the logging had to keep up with the need for matches.
They turned them into matchsticks.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
In 1940, Booker T. Washington became the first black person pictured on a U.S. postage stamp. In 1969, the Internet was born as a research agency was awarded a contract to build the precursor of today's World Wide Web. And finally, in 2003, U.S. forces circled the city of Baghdad, which led to the fall of Saddam Hussein's regime 2 days later.
Today's birthdays include John Oates from Hall & Oates, who's 75. Actor Russell Crowe is 59. Movie director Francis Ford Coppola is 84. And this is also the birthday of jazz great Billie Holiday, who was born on this day in 1915.
Just a smooth, wonderful voice.
She's timeless, truly timeless.
Yeah. All right, let's check out the weather forecast. Looks like a pretty nice day ahead. We'll finally see some sun after a few gray days, so that'll feel pretty nice.
Yeah, here's Devin with the forecast.
And thank you very much, Craig and Emma. Happy Friday. Your first weather forecast sponsored by the More True team of Better Homes and Gardens Real Estate. They work throughout the state of Maine, serving both buyers and sellers with a focus on the greater Bangor area. All right, let's get things rolling out there this morning. We have a wind advisory posted across some parts of the state. This will last until later this afternoon at about 2 p.m. Wind gusts up to around 40 miles per hour or so. Will be possible, though, as we'll be watching for some gusty winds and a system that will be passing through. Otherwise, along the shoreline as a result of the winds, we have some more alerts issued. Gale warnings posted through Saturday morning at around 2 a.m. for this little shade of pink right about in there, maybe a little bit purplish as well. Small crowd advisory until 2 a.m. as well for everyone else. So, again, once we head towards later on this afternoon and parts of tomorrow morning, things will start to relax. On land, though, we don't have any precipitation moving through. The northern parts of the state might notice a few snow flurries today, but everyone else, once you get closer toward Bangor, will not see much of anything. They'll be under a partly cloudy sky for us today, so a mixture of clouds and sunshine, and just the wind that we'll have to deal with. A lot of the activity that's farther down to the south. This is kind of a second low weak wave of energy, and most of this will stay further off towards the north. Futurecast for today shows some of those flurries farther off towards the north. I don't think they'll reach as far as south as it might indicate, but will really start to clear out later on tonight. So our hourly forecast for the rest of the morning and afternoon period, showing a mixture of clouds and sunshine, and yes, windy as well. Temperatures in the 40s. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up. Craig and Emma?
All right, on that note, let's take a look at the community calendar to see what's going on this Easter weekend.
Funky party at G-Force. Yeah, sounds like fun.
All sorts of stuff. There's plenty of Easter stuff. I only put 3 Easter egg hunts in there because there's a lot, of course, at different churches and just different municipalities. So I mainly check out Facebook events for stuff like this. So if you want to dive in yourself and look at more, there's plenty more options out there. But that one in Dover Foxcroft especially, I think they said they're preparing for about 500 kids.
Lots of kids.
I may be wrong, but that's going to be a big one. So all sorts of cool stuff. And I'll have this posted on foxbangor.com if you need a reiteration.
Fantastic. Fantastic. And if you have an event coming up, send it on in to us. We'll be glad to share it.
Absolutely. My email is esmith@wvii.com, and I'd love to hear from you either way.
All right.
Okay. When we return, Tyler Cruz will have the latest with sports.
Don't go away.
Every night is pizza night at Dragonfire Pizza. From wings, salads, and sides to our specialty wood-fired pizzas. You'll find everything you need to satisfy any craving by the slice or by the pie. A little slice of heaven is waiting for you at Dragonfire Pizza, Mill Mall, Ellsworth.
A quality replacement window made with Fibrix material, which is twice as strong as vinyl, delivered through a stress-free process. Welcome to Renewal by Andersen. Get the peace of mind knowing Renewal by Andersen handles everything, from start to finish. With one call, you'll enjoy working with the best people, exclusive products, and a superior process.
It's the people.
It's the process.
It's the product.
Call now to get our exceptional signature service. This fantastic offer is available only for a limited time. Renewal by Andersen, the better way to a better window.
Taylor Events and Equipment Rental in Bangor for all your wedding and events. Tents, tables, chairs, and more. Also see us for your home project equipment rentals. Taylor Events and Equipment Rental, 1179 Hammond Street in Bangor. In Maine, it's always truck season. And at Thornton Brothers in Lincoln, we are celebrating New Ram Truck Month by carrying the complete line of hard-charging new Ram trucks from light to heavy duty. At Thornton Brothers, you'll find the right truck for cargo space and comfort for those long trips on the road. No matter what Maine throws at you, our trucks have you covered. So come on over and test drive any of our award-winning new Ram trucks at Thornton Brothers, 125 Main Street, Lincoln.
Thank you for making ABC's This Week America's #1 news and politics show on Sunday morning.
Welcome back in, everyone. Thank you for staying with us. Let's start with some lacrosse. Brewer boys lacrosse is in just their 4th season as a program, and they're coming off of one of their best springs in history, winning their first playoff game ever and looking to build on that success heading into this year. Ryan Sudol has the story.
It was a great step for our program, especially to show these younger kids like how the game is played and how we can bring it to this area.
After being a program for just 4 years, Brewer boys lacrosse took home their first playoff win in history in last year's Class B state tournament.
With us being somewhat of a new program, as far as Northern Maine lacrosse goes, first win always a good one.
But that southern competition is stiff. The Witches lost their next game in the quarterfinal round against York, 17-2.
It makes us realize how good the teams down south are, and it makes us get prepared throughout the year, working in practices.
You know, it's never fun to lose a game, especially as competitors. We want to strive to be better than what we were last year, and that's what we're going for.
And they have the talent to do so. The Witches have most of last year's starting lineup returning, including the team's top goal scorer, senior captain Ryder Goodwin.
Ryder is an amazing scorer, by far our best player, good passer.
He's taken this program under his wing in the last couple of years. He's a dog. He's a guy we all look to when we need a goal in a big game.
And it doesn't just end with the upperclassmen.
We had some freshmen last year that played a lot, and they're sophomores now. I think experience is where we're at above other teams around us.
All in all, the Witches look to improve on their 10-2 regular season and eventually be able to show those teams down south what Northern Maine lacrosse is all about.
Our goal is to go undefeated and see how far we can make it, hopefully go farther than we did last year in the playoffs.
We can beat up on a couple of Northern Maine teams all we want, but we want to walk down south and show them that we can hang, really.
In Brewer, I'm Ryan Sudol, ABC 7, Fox 22 Sports.
Thanks for that, Ryan. Opening day next Thursday, Brewer versus Bangor should be a good one. Let's go to some baseball now, and we will head to Husson. After dropping one to the University of Southern Maine on Tuesday, the Eagles had one more non-conference tune-up before NAC play begins against UMPI. Husson also trying for their first home win of the year against the Owls. We're going to start in the first inning. Akira Warren at bat for Husson. He rips a grounder into left field. Kobe Rogerson is going to round third. He's going to come in to score. That makes it 1-0 Husson early. To the fifth now, Tyler Michaud at home at the plate. That one gets through the hole. Colin Marshall scores and Warren follows. 4-0 Eagles in the first. But UMPI would crawl back into it. 5-3 in the seventh. Peyton Jones with the bases loaded hits it hard towards short. That allows Joey Lippo to score. It's a one-run ball game. But a couple of batters later, Anthony Searles trying to drive home the tying run. Tanner Evans scoops this slow roller. He's going to hurl it to first. He is out to end the inning, and Husson would hold on. They win 6-4. Let's stay with some baseball now. The Sea Dogs opened up the doors to Hadlock Field and painted the lines for their opening day, hosting the Binghamton Rumble Ponies. On the mound was Red Sox pitcher Garrett Whitlock making a rehab start. Whitlock went 6 innings, allowing just 1 hit and striking out 8. That 1 hit being a home run in the 5th inning. And in the stands, fans filled up the stadium for the first time this year. And with minor league baseball, the experience in the stands and as a fan is really what it's all about.
You've been waiting for a season to start for a while in pretty much any sport, and it's nice for it to finally start happening.
Absolutely. You got your winter hat on, though. It's kind of baseball weather in the Northeast, though, right?
Yeah.
My daughter got these tickets for Christmas for us because we've been coming here for so many years.
All right, let's stay on the diamond here. We will just kick it over to Detroit. Red Sox in action on Thursday, hoping to avoid dropping 4 in a row. They're playing the Tigers, and it's sale day for those who celebrate. Looking for a better start than last time out. Bottom of the second, he serves up the sinker to Jake Rogers. Rogers gets all of that ball. That's over the left field fence, and it's 2-0 Detroit early. 3-1 now. Rafi Devers at the dish. He gets a high fastball. You can't really throw that pitch to Rafi. He takes this one, Oppo Taco. That one is gone. Sox within a run. And here comes Rafi again in the 6th. He absolutely unloads on this pitch. That's going to go off the wall in dead center. Alex Verdugo hustles around to score. That ties the game. A few batters later, here's Adam Duvall. He's had a heck of a start to his Sox career, and he keeps it going. Belts this one. That is a 3-run shot to make it 6-3. The Sox go on to win by that score. Sale gets his first W of the season. Red Sox are now 3-4. Always good news when the Sox get a win. That's all the time we have for sports. Be right back after the break.
Take your taste buds on a journey and experience the brand new international menu Tuesday through Thursday only at the Lucerne Inn and Ryan's Pub. Every Tuesday, enjoy their delicious French cuisine. On Wednesdays, enjoy their memorable Italian delicacies. And every Thursday, be ready for a fiesta with their Mexican favorites. A full 5-course dinner for just $29.95 per person. And don't forget about their all-you-can-eat seafood Fridays. The Lucerne Inn. Beautiful dining with a delicious view.
10 years from today, Lisa Schneider will become the undisputed leader of a ginormous pack of dogs. Rescue dogs, to be exact. A second act made possible by the career reskilling courses Lisa's already taking now with AARP to help make sure her income lives as long as she does, so she can finally run with the big dogs and the small dogs who just think they're big dogs. That's why the younger you are, the more you need AARP.
Looking for a new work experience? Fox and ABC Bangor are partnering with local employers to feature the best local job opportunities, like this one.
Central Maine Exteriors is a home remodeling contractor specializing in windows, doors, siding, roofing, decks, as well as interior remodels and new construction. We are hiring framing and finishing carpenters. Call 290-2750.
All right, welcome back to Good Morning Maine. Now let's check in with Devin Biggs to get a full look at that forecast.
And thank you very much, Craig and Emma. Happy Friday. Your first weather forecast sponsored by the More True team of Better Homes and Gardens Real Estate. They work throughout the state of Maine, serving both buyers and sellers with a focus on the greater Bangor area. All right, let's get things rolling out there this morning. We have a wind advisory posted across some parts of the state. This will last until later this afternoon at about 2 p.m. Wind gusts up to around 40 miles per hour or so. Will be possible, though, as we'll be watching for some gusty winds and a system that will be passing through. Otherwise, along the shoreline as a result of the winds, we have some more alerts issued. Gale warnings posted through Saturday morning at around 2 a.m. for this little shade of pink right about in there, maybe a little bit purplish as well. Small crowd advisory until 2 a.m. as well for everyone else. So, again, once we head towards later on this afternoon and parts of tomorrow morning, things will start to relax. On land, though, we don't have any precipitation moving through. The northern parts of the state might notice a few snow flurries today, but everyone else, once you get closer toward Bangor, will not see much of anything. They'll be under a partly cloudy sky for us today, so a mixture of clouds and sunshine, and just the wind that we'll have to deal with. A lot of the activity is further down to the south. This is kind of a second low weak wave of energy, and most of this will stay further off towards the north. Futurecast for today shows some of those flurries further off towards the north. I don't think they'll reach as far as south as it might indicate, but will really start to clear out later on tonight. So your hourly forecast for the rest of the morning and afternoon period, showing a mixture of clouds and sunshine, and yes, windy as well. Temperatures in the 40s. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up. Craig and Emma.
We're Remax Collaborative. This is our first time exhibiting at the Bangor Home Show. We're happy to be here. We just opened a new location at 556 Hammond Street. So whether you're buying or selling, or you want to build a business in real estate, stop by and see us. Check us out at either of our locations, 202 West Broadway in Lincoln, or 556 Hammond Street in Bangor, or scan the QR code and come visit us at Collaborative 207 online.
Wow, with fuel prices quickly rising and no end in sight, isn't it time to give Black's Heat Pumps a call? Did you know heat pumps could save you up to 50% on your heating bill? Our experts can handle all your commercial and residential work and provide you with quality installation, repair, and maintenance. Give us a call today for a free estimate. Our number one priority is to save you money and keep you comfortable all year long. Get the service you deserve. Find us at blacksheatpumps.com and on Facebook.
General Rental Center has been serving Central Maine for more than 30 years with an extensive inventory, including mini track loaders with attachments, full-size track skid steer, track loader and backhoe, wheel loader with attachments, a 50-foot towable aerial lift, and a 45-foot self-propelled four-wheel drive lift. If you can't find it on our website, we can find it for you. Call for multi-day and weekend special rates. Goose River Farm and Meat Store is conveniently located on Route 3 across from Hammond Lumber in Belfast. They have a wide selection of meat and poultry, including beef, pork, lamb, chicken, duck, rabbit, and turkey. Buy your steak and meats for grilling this summer.
There's no way she'd stick around if she knew the truth. I'm a criminal.
It's just too dangerous.
Let's rock.
Walmart says it expected about 2/3 of its stores to be serviced by automation by the end of 2026. The retail giant says it plans to move roughly 55% of packages processed through its fulfillment centers to automated facilities. Walmart hopes the changes will lead to less physical labor for its workers, reducing costs. The announcement comes after the company announced plans to lay off more than 2,000 warehouse workers.
Well, not everyone is excited about Subway's new Easter-themed sandwich. The chain is teaming up with Cadbury for a limited edition chocolate sandwich, which features the famous cream egg. The bizarre concoction will be given away for free on Good Friday today at select Subway restaurants in the UK. I guess you're out of luck here in the US. Some people are already weighing in, calling it absolutely disgusting. I don't know. I'm usually pro-chocolate in most any form, but, you know.
They have to give it away for free.
Yeah, here, please eat this.
Yeah,
Take it.
that's heinous. That's disgusting.
Yeah. Anyway, and back to the Walmart thing. I don't like where we're heading, you know, as far as all the automation and stuff. I was reading there's a Walmart now. I think it's a McDonald's. It's completely automated. You go in, there's nobody there. You fill out your thing, and then it appears. I don't know how it works. But
I don't get it.
Yeah, it's crazy. I like to interact with people.
Absolutely.
And,
I think the average person does.
Yeah, and you get the community service. Have a great day.
Hewitt Lift and Rolodoc creates
the strongest, simplest, and most reliable dock system. With one simple goal:
to get you on the lake
faster and easier than anyone else.
Because at Hewitt,
we build stronger.
After 40 years of quality building, we get it.
Hewitt family builds for your family.
For your family.
For your family.
Stand on the solid foundation of the Hewitt family.
Docks, pontoon legs, and boat lifts.
You work hard, play harder. You deserve a Hewitt.
My insurance kept going up and up and up and up.
I was getting a lot of mail about Medicare, getting pretty confused about it.
I could never have navigated through the loopholes.
Somebody said something about Senior Planning Center.
I heard a Senior Planning Center, so we called them.
Senior Planning Center was a lifesaver for us.
I couldn't begin to do it all on my own, but Senior Planning Center did it all.
Gave me all my options and signed me up with what I needed within an hour.
Senior Planning Center helped us so much.
Biggest help I could ever have asked for.
This is Sydney. She's on hour 3 of a meeting